Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing this Tuesday? I hope that you're all doing very well. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you, everyone, for joining me here this afternoon. This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. Our lawmakers in Congress are concerned about whether Americans are receiving enough crisis relief assistance. Many states have now decided how they are going to spend the federal stimulus money that they have received from the government. Also, everyone, this Friday, I will be giving away more Amazon gift cards. Enter the giveaway by subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and also leaving a comment below. Thank you so much, everyone. Back in March of 2020, unemployment spiked, and the federal government responded by flooding state governments with assistance. But the local systems just were not able to deal with it, so the unemployed had to fight for their benefits. In the state of Wisconsin, for instance, there was this rule that people getting disability could not also get unemployment assistance, even though the Fed said these workers qualified for the checks. It took months to figure that problem out. On top of that, the computer systems in the state were simply too old to keep up with the demand. Those that will be the most heavily impacted are Americans who are currently receiving economic benefits through some of the temporary programs currently on offer. This includes financial aid for those who have been unemployed for a long time, as well as people with jobs that have been up in the air, including those who are self-employed, gig workers, freelancers, and more. In fact, the Labor Department have revealed that as of July 10, 2021, more than 9 million people were still receiving this form of financial help. And by the time the program comes to an end on September 6th, Andrew Stetner of the Century Foundation estimates that roughly 7.5 million people will still be collecting benefits. From that date, they would no longer be eligible. Roughly 3 million people are currently receiving regular state benefits due to being unemployed. However, September 6th will see them lose their $300 top-up. The Labor Department's data suggests that the average person would have been given $341 a week without the additional help in June. Although it is worth pointing out that the starting figure varies from state to state.
The answer is twofold. One, I've sought out constitutional scholars to determine what is the best possibility that would come from executive action or the CDC's judgment. What could they do that was most likely to pass muster constitutionally? The bulk of the constitutional scholarship says that it's not likely to pass constitutional muster, number one. But there are several key scholars who think that it may, and it's worth the effort. But the court's already ruled on the present eviction moratorium. So I think what you're going to see, and I want to make it clear. I told you I would not tell the Justice Department or the medical experts or scientists what they should say or do. So I don't want to get ahead. The CDC has to make this. I asked the CDC to go back and consider other options that may be available to them. You're going to hear from them what those other options are. I have been informed they're about to make a judgment as to potential other options. Whether that option will pass constitutional measure with this administration, I can't tell you. I don't know. There are a few scholars who say it will, and others who say it's not likely to. But at a minimum, by the time it gets litigated, it will probably give some additional time while we're getting that $45 billion out to people who are, in fact, behind in the rent and don't have the money. That's why it was passed in the act that we passed in the beginning of my administration, and it went to the states. We were under the impression that the states were moving this money out relatively rapidly. So, for example,
U.S. Congress intervened twice to ensure that these benefits did not come to an end prematurely. First, it was last December, and then again this past March, doing so with the American Rescue Plan in the second instance. But this time, we do not know if they will be doing that again. White House officials on Monday described a behind-the-scenes scramble over the weekend to locate any legal avenue for the administration to continue barring evictions. The effort ultimately came short. The officials said, leaving millions of renters in the lurch and exposing a rare divide with the Democratic members of Congress. Gene Sperling, the White House official responsible for managing crisis relief efforts, said during an afternoon briefing, "I don't think this means this president is going to give up. I think he's going to keep looking, keep pushing." Still, Sperling and other White House officials made clear that even after renewed examination, the president's authority to continue banning evictions was limited. Instead, the White House said it was working to prevent a major housing crisis by calling on states to accelerate rental assistance payments and pass their own laws banning evictions. But a disconnect with Congress was still evident as Democratic leaders continued to call on Biden to extend a moratorium even though his administration made it clear he lacks the legal authority to do so. The White House and congressional Democrats each sought to explain how a long-anticipated sunset of nationwide eviction moratorium appeared to catch them by surprise last week, allowing the provision to expire and leaving millions of renters in the lurch. States were allotted federal money to give retention bonuses to certain employees as part of the American Rescue Plan stimulus relief bill, and they are now starting to dole them out. In March, the Education Department announced the allocation that each state agency will receive. Funds totaling $122 billion in relief for K-12 schools. The unprecedented funding was provided to states so that they could act to fund health and safety measures, address the disruptions to teaching and learning, and get students back in the classroom quickly and safely. School districts have taken the opportunity to use some of this money as a means to retain teachers that they have already had on staff, to avoid having them bail in the face of a return to in-person school classes. Districts in the state of Tennessee, Texas, California, and the entire state of Georgia have approved four-figure bonuses in an attempt to stave off teacher resignations and boost staff morale. Georgia was the first state to start distributing $1,000 statewide bonuses to over 230,000 school employees. This covered nearly every teacher and staff member, including assistants, aides, custodians, bus drivers, and cafeteria workers. These are all staff that either did not work or were able to work virtually during the crisis, but will likely be called upon to return at the beginning of the new school year. So everyone, that's the end of the video for this afternoon. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much everyone for joining me here today. I will be announcing more winners of my Amazon gift card giveaway this coming Friday. To enter my giveaway, what you need to do is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and to also leave a comment below. Thank you so much everyone, and have a wonderful and blessed Tuesday.